So if you've been following Sex Talk with Dr. Tolu, we'll be talking about how to give cunnilingus or how to perform cunnilingus like a pro. So on this episode, I'll be teaching you, this is like teaching you step-by-step guides on how to perform cunnilingus. So I'll be telling you what to do first. What do you do after this? What do you do? So just relax. This is not something you get everywhere. Like if you're in America, you could actually wake up and pick up your phone and search through cunnilingus workshop around me. You could look out for blowjob workshop around me. You're going to find one. But in Nigeria, I think it's only Dr. Tolu that does stuff like that. I am the only one that actually I have workshop for cunnilingus where you come to learn how to give a head. And of course, I have workshop for blowjob. And of course, on Sex Talk with Dr. Tolu, you can get all the necessary tips that you need to give a head like a pro. So I'm taking you through the step-by-step guide tonight. So you have been struggling with how to give a woman a head. Probably you don't even know if you are doing it the right way or you are doing it the wrong way. You are just struggling, you are fumbling with it. Sometimes you look at her to be sure, is she enjoying it? Is she screaming or is she moaning? You don't really know. But if you follow through these my steps, you'll be able to be on top of your game. You don't need to get worried anymore. You don't need to fret or stress. Whenever you are giving a head, you take charge and you know you are doing it the right way. So the first thing you need to do is to worship her body. That's where you start from. That's the first step. So when you want to give a woman a head, it is not just about the genitals. It's not just about the vagina. From the crown of her head to the sole of her feet has to be worshipped. So you take your time. You ravish every part of that body. You touch the head, you kiss, you rub your body alongside the body, you touch the boobs, you don't forget the nipples, you move down, if possible with your tongue, lick down, kiss down, from in between the boobs, lick down, to the belly button, very sensitive. When you are moving down from the head and then you are moving down to the belly button, you are coming to the vagina. When you get to the pubic area, you could just move away, move to the laps. So touch the laps, touch the leg. Make sure that the vagina is begging for you to come close before you move to that area. So worship the body. That is the first step. Then the second step you need to do after you have, worked on all the parts of the body, and then you move slowly to the vagina area. When you get to the vagina area, just gently nibble. Sometimes you can even use your nose, just rub through. If she has hair around that area, it's okay to touch that part. But just, you can just flip your hand through, the vagina. You just flip your hand through. It's not like you are settling down with it, but you're just flipping your hand. You can use your mouth. You can flip your mouth through. You can flip your nose through, but you're not settling down. You are just still moving around the peripherals. Do you understand what I'm talking about? And then the number 3 thing you do, you have worshipped the body, and then you have slightly brushed through the vulva and the pubic area, and then the third thing to do is to gently pat the leg. Now when you gently pat the leg so that you can now approach the vagina. Now do not forget that even when you are gently patting the leg, your hands, your mouth, they are still working on every other part of the body. Remember, I'm taking you through the step-by-step guide so that when next you want to perform cunnilingus, you can do it the right way. So after patting the leg, the next thing you should do is to put your 2 arms, your palms actually, pull them under the buttocks and draw her close. When you are drawing her close, squeeze through the buttocks. There are a lot of, especially people who have, a little bit of flesh in that area, they love it to be squeezed. You might need to ask anyway. So, but put your 2 hands under, draw her close, like I'm in charge, come close, draw close and gently, and if possible, roughly squeeze through the ass, then bend your head to begin the proper thing you want to do. Now, so you remember, you worship the body, you caress the body, you move close to the vulva, you rub your hands through, you rub your face, your nose through, you pat the leg, and then you take charge by drawing the bum closer and squeezing the bum. Then you bury your head, and then you use your tongue. That's the first thing. And now when you are using your tongue, that's the next step. When you want to use your tongue, don't just go straight to the clitoris. Use your tongues around the vulva area, take charge of the vulva area. Do not move straight to the clitoris. Now, when you are using your tongue, do not forget, don't go straight to the clitoris. Take care of the labia. Those are the lips, like you are kissing, just like normally the way we say that a woman has two lips. There's one up there and one down there. The one down there, they are the labia. So what you want to do is kiss the labia. Kiss one at a time. Like you can put the two labia, one side of the labia inside your mouth, so it's like you are kissing the labia and they are in between your two lips. And then the same thing you do for the right side of the labia, you do it to the left side of the labia. By that time, she's wet already. She's shaking already at that level, and the clitoris is begging to be touched. Do not forget, you are still coming to the clitoris because it's the center of the arousal. So the next step you take is move. Now, at this stage, now you bury your head down, and then you move your tongue, your lips. You could use only your tongue, but you could use both your leg and your tongues together, and then you move from the end of the vagina towards the clitoris in an horizontal position. Do you understand? You've done this before, you just brush through. But this time around, you are now taking your time to lick. You're taking your time to lick from the bottom. In fact, you could actually start from the perineum. That's the space between the anus and the vagina. So you start licking upwardly from there. Up and down. Up and down. So by the time you are doing this, already you are brushing through the clitoris. But you are not settling down. But now the clitoris is getting your touch. At this time around, the clitoris is saying, please do not move again. Stay with me. Do not, but you are still doing that. That's the right way to get a woman aroused and take her to that point of no return that you tend to take her. After this step, now, so you remember the step, you can run through them again. So at this point, what you are doing is you are moving up and down. Now you can now move sideways as well. And then you now go back. Now, one thing you need to understand at this level is, when you have done step 1, I think I'm in step 7 now. At this step 7, you don't neglect any of the steps you've done before. So as you are moving your lips on one side, you are sucking, you are kissing the one side of the labia, you are moving to the other side of the labia, you are moving your mouth, your lips, your tongue, your nose, if possible, up and down. You're also moving in a vertical section. Now this time around, you now introduce horizontal movement. So you also move from left to right. Now you also introduce circular movements. So you are doing horizontal, you are doing vertical, and you are doing circular. At this point, you can't afford to stop. Now this is not the point to say, okay, let me pause. You can't pause because this woman is already agitated. You're already taking her. So this is not the time to stop. This is time to use your hands on the nipple, use another hand to touch the belly button. Make sure every part of your body is working. Then you now move straight to the clitoris. I'm going to stop here, and on the next episode I'll take you through the remaining steps. I just hope you can practice these few ones tonight. Believe me, your babe is going to thank you for it. Do not tell them you heard from Sex Talk with Dr. Tolu. Thank you for being a part of my show. I'm going to see you some other time. Make sure you have a cunnilingus, wet, sweet, and sexy night. Bye-bye.